Hey y'all, I just took this pork loin out of the freezer. It is frozen solid, and this is when I can get in here in my slow cooker and let it take care of business for me today. I've got lots of chores I gotta be doing out of here, so I'm glad to have this little guy in here with me. This is about a 3 or 4 pound pork loin, but you could use whatever size you want. You can do 1 pound or 2 pound, just adjust accordingly. So all I need to do is sprinkle with salt. And the sprinkler doesn't come out very much. I know it seems like a lot of salt, but it's hardly any. And black pepper, is what we like. And I'm gonna need about 1/2 cup of barbecue sauce. And I know that this is a store-bought today. I'm really taking a shortcut. We gotta make my mama's barbecue sauce real soon because summer is right on us, isn't it? My mother is on hospice now, and a lot of y'all have been sending me your prayers, and I thank you so much for that. 1/2 cup of beef broth, the same, just like the barbecue, right on top. And then something that makes it taste a little like I was smoking it outside. A little cheap for me is called liquid smoke. This is natural hickory smoke. I find it near all the barbecue sauces in any store I go in, really. And it's liquid smoke. It's a Fort Worth Stockyard brand, and they've done all this work for us, and it just tastes so good in many things. I know y'all see me use this all the time. We're gonna put a nice, generous tablespoon in there. I'm gonna cover this, and I'm gonna cook it on high for 6 to 8 hours, and if I come in later and wanna turn it down on low to last me. If I have time, I'm gonna make some dirty rice to go with this later this afternoon if I get out of the office in time. So I'll see y'all back. I have come down into the kitchen to make dirty rice with y'all. It's been a while since we made it together, and I want to share that with y'all today. I also, before I left today, I put a pork loin in the slow cooker. I will put that recipe, I'm going to do it separately because when I do pork loin and dirty rice, some of y'all tell me I can't find your dirty rice recipe. Y'all like to reference it separately. So I'm going to put it in the recipe. When I list the recipe, then you'll see the pork loin video as well. But it's my slow cooker pork loin, and it's so good and smoky. That's been going all day. We want to make some dirty rice to go with it. So I've got me a big pan here, and I want to get started on that with y'all. First thing I'm going to do is some butter. I'm going to do me a couple of tablespoons of butter and some olive oil. Now you can just do all olive oil. I'll do a couple of tablespoons of olive oil as well, or all butter, and sometimes I do. Just depends on what kind of mood I'm in, you know. Y'all know how that goes. All right, I'm going to get this melting. And to that, some things you're going to need. I love to use this seasoning blend because this is what I call my quick weeknight dirty rice, because, you know, you can chop all these vegetables. And when I was growing up and when I was first working and in school, I'd come home, my mom would have that for me to make. I had to chop all these. So it took longer on the weeknight, but I was like younger and full of more energy. So anyway, this is a seasoning blend. It has red bell pepper, green bell pepper, onion, celery, and a little bit of parsley. I add more parsley too, but that is a great little time saver. This is a 10-ounce bag, and they're frozen, so it can be in your freezer for any time you need it. I'm going to put that in here. The only thing I can say that I don't care for about this is every once in a while you'll see the outside layer of the onion, but it's usually in a big piece and you can get that out. So that's the only thing I'll have to say just to watch for. And this one looks really good, so I shouldn't have said anything, huh? And to that, another weeknight time saver is this pre-minced garlic, and I love it. Back when I was making this, when I was young, about a generous teaspoon, okay? 1 or 2, it's not gonna hurt. And to this, I also, what else do I want to add right now? A little bit of salt. I'm going to do about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt now. And when I add my rice later, I'll probably put another 1/2 teaspoon. Just to let y'all know, you might want to write down a whole teaspoon right now, okay? Because we're also going to add some ground beef to this. you can use lots of things in lieu of ground beef. Sausage, you can use some liver as well. We just do ground beef. Y'all know we're a beef farm, right? All right, I'm gonna put these and let them soften really well. And then we'll move on to that next step. And the only other thing I want to add to this right now is some more parsley, because there's not much parsley in that seasoning blend, and it's good for us, and it makes that rice look even dirtier, right? I know. So let's do that. It's all good stuff. All right, I'm let this soften, and I'll get right back on here with y'all. All right, guys, and I've got about 1 to 2 pounds of ground beef. This is one of our cows. Yes, it is. Y'all ask me that all the time. That's why I'm telling y'all yes all the time. And so, like I say, 1 to 2 pounds. If you want to mix, you can add sausage and ground beef. So you could do half a pound of each or so. And if you want chicken livers in here, you could add however many chicken livers and go on and brown them in here as well at this point in time. John and I aren't real crazy about livers. Now, I have had dirty rice with liver in it a million times over, and I eat it because it tastes pretty good. But I just don't bother adding it when it's just going to be John and me. If I was serving a big crowd, I sure would probably put the liver in there just to give them that Louisiana experience, right? I've been in the office all day, and I've come down in time to make this, and then John called me and said, "Baby, I'm going to be working on my dozer for a little bit, and then I'm going to come pick you up on the tractor. Let's move cows." So I thought I got just enough time to hop on here with y'all. We've got 3 different herds we'll be moving this evening. You know, they eat for a while in one pasture and eat all that grass up, and then we've got to move them to another pasture. So that's how you manage. I call it musical pastures, you know. So that's what we'll be doing this evening, which I dearly love to do. So I'm glad we're about to get this finished up so we can hop on to that, right? Okay, to this, we need some rice, right? Dirty rice. This is what makes it quick weeknight rice, is because we are using instant, or what is called minute rice. I'm going to do 2 cups. 2 cups minute rice. And 2 cups of beef broth. And if you don't have beef broth, you certainly could use chicken broth. I just like the flavor, you know, it complements the beef in it. So that's why I do it. There's a few other things we want to put in here. We also want to put another ½ teaspoon, because I like to flavor each one of my layers. Do y'all know what I mean? Instead of just at one time, now I'm flavoring my rice. And you need to flavor each layer so you won't come up short in the end, okay? Like, what does this need? And it seems like you never can get that seasoning in there right if you don't begin with its cooking. And I know a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. And I don't always do this, so I'm going to do this with y'all this time because it's really good. I'm going to add a little bay leaf. That one was tiny, so I'm going to add another one. It needed to buddy. It was so little. Yes, it did. And a teaspoon of poultry seasoning. Poultry seasoning has marjoram and rosemary and thyme and oregano and nutmeg and a little bit more black pepper. So it's a one-stop shop, and it's great for during the week. We don't have to open up a whole lot of bottles. So I'm going to add a teaspoon of it. That was a generous teaspoon. And into this, I'm going to add some cayenne pepper. And you can add as much as you want. I'm going to add like a generous quarter teaspoon, okay? But you can add ½ teaspoon, teaspoon, whatever you like. In the end, we're also going to dress it with some Louisiana hot sauce. So, and I love to add a little bit more pepper too on this layer. And now I'm going to bring this to a boil, and because it's that instant minute rice, all I've got to do is bring it to a boil and cover it and let it cook on really, really low, or just sit about 5 minutes is all it takes for that rice to absorb. But I do let this come back to a really good boil, you know, vigorous cooking stage before I cover it, because it needs to be real steamy to get that rice. It already smells so comforting, guys. I'm going to cover this up. The only other thing I'm gonna make tonight, I'm gonna slice that pork loin out of the crock pot, but I'm also gonna make my garlic bread, and I've done that with y'all before, and I'll also link that recipe. It's French bread or Italian bread, and you mix some softened butter and some olive oil, some minced garlic, some parsley, put it on there and toast it. Oh, it's so yummy with this, it sure is. So that's the only other thing I'm gonna do. Besides, I'm gonna sprinkle some hot sauce, and I'll do that with y'all, I sure will. I don't know when, it may be late tonight when we get back from moving cows, but I just wanted to hop on here with y'all. My mother, I know y'all noticed my mood is a little melancholy, but my mother just got put on hospice just a couple of days ago. And so, I know y'all have been through this, a lot of you, people lots younger than me have been through this, and they've been talking with me. It's just, you know, a melancholy time, though. So anyway, if y'all notice that, that's what I'm doing, is I'm trying to cope through this. I see my stuff is starting to come to a nice, vigorous cook, so I'm going to turn it down on really, really, really low. And this is what I do. I do about 5 minutes on really, really, really low, and then I'll turn it off, and I will at least let it sit 5 more minutes to really make sure that rice gets hydrated. John likes it to be what he calls juicy, you know, so you can also have you some more beef broth on the side sometimes. If it's going to be a while before we eat, I'll pour a little bit more in there just before we eat. I'll probably do that tonight after we move cows, but that's a good thing, though. That gets my mind off the yucky stuff, you know. And they're so beautiful out there, and the grass is green, and I just love it. So anyway, guys, I'll see y'all back here in about 5 minutes, and we'll see what it looks like. Y'all, I also want to tell y'all, while we're waiting on this rice to get all cooked and steamed, I want to show y'all, when you get this minute rice, I go to Sam's Club, so I get a big old honking box of it, okay? And so I don't like to just stick things back in my pantry with an open top, you know. When you get these big, I think these are 2-gallon bags, and I just zip it up like that. And honestly, when I get my next box, as long as this bag doesn't have a hole in it or anything, I'll reuse that bag. So I just want to show you how I keep it as fresh as can be in my pantry. Y'all, I've got about 3 or 4 green onions that I'm also going to chop and kind of use it as a finisher. I'll put it in there and stir it up after our rice is steamed. Yeah, I gotta be ready to roll when John drives up on that tractor. I bet not everybody gets told by their husband, I'm gonna come get you on the tractor. I say that like it's normal, and then I think about what I've said, and I'm like, oh boy. But anyway, that's what he's gonna do. It's an enclosed cab air tractor, though, so it's really nice. We think about his papa being on this farm back in the day. This farm's been in their family since the 1800s. Isn't that fabulous? And I bet he would just be oohing and ahhing at some of the equipment that's around now, guys. It has been 5 minutes, well, 20 seconds till 5 more minutes for this rice to steam. Oh my, do y'all see the steam coming up? Oh, it looks so good. Yes, it does. I'm going to add these green onions. These are some tiny ones. I love it when they're tiny like that, don't y'all? I see my bay leaf, so I'm going to pick him out. Turn that off. That was our timer. We don't want that beepity beeping on us the whole time, do we? We sure do not. Yes. Yum. I wish I could give all of y'all a bite of this. I sure do. Trying to look for my other bay leaf, guys. That's why I keep a stirring. Keep a stir. Oh, there he is. There he is. Thank you, buddy. You have done all you need to do. I appreciate it. Those little bay leaves, they're something, aren't they? They never get tender, but they sure do flavor. Yes, they do. Some other good things you can use for ground beef is ground venison. I have done that many times, and the deer meat has a little bit of a wild flavor in it, kind of like liver, so it's really, really good with venison in it as well, okay? Just in case y'all are wanting to know another option, or if you can do that, yes. When my boys were little, you know, we just didn't have much money at all, and when your kids are at home, you seem to just be broke, don't you? I know, you're younger, and you just broke. So I would use deer meat in many things. We had deer tacos, deer spaghetti, deer chili, everything, but it was good. Very lean. That's another thing. My meat was very lean. And so I did not have to drain the grease off of it, okay? That's how we get it processed. But if yours has grease on it, you certainly could have spooned some of the grease out before you started this. But not all of it, because that's flavor. Yes, it is. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Let me get y'all some hot sauce. Hang on, hang on. Be patient, right? We'll do a little bit in here like that. We'll do a little bit on our bowl like that. Let me show y'all. Yum, yumminess. Y'all want a bite? I do wish I could just give each and every one of you a bite. I'd stand here for a long time and feed the first 50 or the first 100, right? There you go. And there you go. Y'all ready? This is very comforting to me because it takes me back when my mama would have me making it while she stood there and watched me in the evenings. Yum. Isn't it funny how flavor can take you right back, or a smell? I just love that. It can transport you, can it? Thank y'all for sticking here with me today. I'm going to get myself all cleaned up because I got to go get in that tractor and move cows. Y'all stay tuned and be looking around somewhere near this video, because I also do a take 2 recipe on this dirty rice. We just did all this little bit of work. Well, a second meal another night's going to be stuffed bell peppers. You use that. All I do is add some diced tomatoes to it, top it with cheese and a bell pepper, and we've got a whole other meal. So y'all be looking for it. Well, y'all, it has been at least 8 hours. He looks yummy, right? We've got our dirty rice on the stove. The only thing I love to do, if I have time, if I don't, I get it out right here and we cut this up and we eat it. Or we slice it, I should say. But if I have time, I put my oven on broil and I slide it in here. See if I can do this without making a royal mess with y'all. On my little pan. And I broil the top to get it nice and toasty. So I'm going to do that and I'll see y'all. In the meantime, I have got my bread out. Get it up here where y'all can see it. I've got a piece of a French loaf. I will get these in bulk at Sam's, and I'll cut them in halves and freeze them in freezer bags so I can have it whenever I want it out here in the middle of the country. We're far away from Sam's Club out here. All right, guys, I've got my bread. Y'all see I just split it in 2. And I have put in here a couple of tablespoons of butter, a couple of tablespoons of olive oil, and some minced garlic, salt, and pepper. I will link this video where I make it in depth with you. I'm just doing this while our pork loin is getting toasty on top. And I'm going to put this on here. It's so good. I do put fresh garlic for this. You do want that. If you don't have time, sprinkle you a little garlic powder, but I hope you have time. I do. It makes a big old difference. And I'm going to bake this in the oven when my pork loin comes out. I'm not going to broil it though. I'm going to bake it really, really hot. Baby, John's come in. You want to come over here and ask the blessing on our big meal, and I'll feed you some dirty rice. You can taste it. You hadn't even tasted it, huh? I may have tasted just a little bit.
Might taste a little bit?
Yeah. Come over here. Tell everybody hi.
Hey, y'all.
We've been out moving cows.
Yep.
We've been out fixing a couple of little gates.
Yep.
We fixed the latch on it. We put out minerals in all our
Salt
mineral
blocks.
houses. Salt blocks, yeah. So we saw
Looked at the grass.
looked at the grass. We saw the sun go down, didn't we?
Yes. Yes. A good
But it was
evening
good.
on the farm.
It was a good evening on the farm.
Dear Heavenly Father, I just thank you so much for this day.
Lord, please just watch over us, continue to be with our family, Lord. Lord, be with the people in our prayers, be with our nation. We love you so much and thank you so much for the day. In Jesus Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. Okay.
Yeah, there was a bite. There was a bite supposed to happen here, yeah.
Yeah, there was a bite supposed to happen.
Yeah.
I told him, I know you like it juicy. I'm going
I
to
do.
get some more broth. So, because it's been a while. Here, you stand there and make sure everybody can see you.
All right, y'all can see me, huh? Yeah. Oh, yeah, they see me. Yeah.
Right?
We may have to have another bite, too.
Yeah, that's just your appetizer.
Mm.
You're out. Yeah, and this is what I do before I feed John, because he likes it, so I put some more broth in there. He likes, I told him you said you liked it juicy.
In case y'all didn't know it, I am rotten.
I think they might know
I'm
already.
rotten. And I'm thankful for it, too.
Are you thankful you're rotten?
I am.
Well, you know what? That makes all the difference in the world.
Oh, baby.
That's going to be juicy. Does it taste good?
It's good.
I got cayenne and hot sauce in there. Louisiana hot sauce. You want it
I
juicier?
love that bite. I love it.
You love the bite? You want it juicier than that, babe?
That's fine. That's fine.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Probably a little more juicy, huh?
You knew how I like it.
I did. I don't know why I asked you. Why did I ask you? I don't know. All right.
Good.
You sit there and eat that. I'm going to check on our pork loin. I'm going to put that up there. Don't throw that away because
No.
that is really good stuff. Let me show y'all. John loves this to go. It makes this nice little au jus in there, or sauce, if you want to say it like that. Right here to go over your loin. Yum, yum, yum.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now I'm gonna put my bread here so I can check on this loin.
Man, that bread smells good. You smell like garlic on it?
Yeah, that's that fresh garlic, I know.
You better stay over away from me.
Well, I gotta toast
I'll be
it first.
tasting it too.
Ooh,
Oh yeah.
what are you talking about?
Yes,
Y'all
ma'am.
see how toasty? That didn't take just a minute or two, did it? We're gonna let him rest. And now I'm gonna turn my oven on 400 something and not broil and let this get good and toasty.
That's the part I don't do real well with.
What? Letting it
Let it
rest?
rest.
You don't, baby.
I don't.
You're terrible.
I'm terrible at it.
You are.
Woo.
You are.
If the camera wasn't on, you turned your back, I'd cut into that dude.
I know you would. I know. You do all the time, don't you? All right, we'll start fixing our plate. How about that?
Okay. Hey, I'm all about it.
Oh, he just fell apart.
Did he fall apart?
He did. He just fell apart.
Yum.
He did.
He looking good. Yeah, I like that in with the dark meat.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I like both ends.
That's good.
I see this bread.
Oh.
I hope y'all can see how toasty and good that is.
We're gonna sleep good tonight.
Are we gonna sleep
We're
good
gonna
tonight?
sleep good tonight, sweetie.
I'm backing up. Oh yeah, y'all can see. You'll see how toasty
Yeah,
it
it's
got.
gonna be good.
Let me put this down behind you and let it cool for a moment. You've already said the blessing. We just need to help our plate, don't we?
Yes, ma'am.
Here we go. You help your plate, I'll help mine because I got to give everybody a bite.
Gotta eat a bad bite.
I got to give everybody a bite. Y'all ready? Y'all want me to get y'all both ends? One end and the other end? Yum. There you go. We'll trade out, baby.
We'll trade out.
And get some of this au jus, some of this sauce.
Yes, ma'am.
It's smoky and a little barbecuey flavor. Yes. All right, y'all. I've got to cut this bread for us. It's gonna be hotter than a $2 pistol
Yes,
over
ma'am.
here.
Yes, ma'am, it is. There's not gonna be much left time I get through fixing my plate.
Well, that's the idea,
That's
baby.
the idea.
Yes.
Man, that looks good.
Okay, I got everybody one piece of bread. Okay, let me come give y'all a bite before we go. We gotta go find something on the TV, don't we?
Yes, ma'am.
I've told them that before. We raised the boys where we had to sit at the table and we all talked.
Yeah.
And now we just
Go sit in front of the TV.
you gotta stay right here for the Facebook people because
Oh,
you have to be real
okay, you got
close.
real
Yeah,
close? Okay.
yeah. Okay, let me go give everybody a bite.
Go give him a bite.
And I'll cut some more bread. Y'all ready? It's smoking hot. This is a Louisiana weeknight meal right here. Pork loin, dirty rice, and garlic bread.
That's guaranteed to sleep good.
Guaranteed to sleep good,
Guaranteed to
baby?
sleep good.
Yes, it is.
Mm.
All right, y'all. We will see y'all next time. Bye-bye. Mm. Mm. I've got to show y'all the truth here.
Yeah.
This is really, tell them what you said.
This is really what my plate's gonna look like when I go sit down to eat. See?
He waited till I turned the camera off.
Yeah.
And look, he put more pork loin, more dirty rice, and more
Bread.
bread, and more of the au jus, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
You silly Willie. Nobody cares if you get that much.
I'm almost ashamed of it myself, but I'm not.